Welcome back to the channel. Do you ever get cravings? Do you ever feel a powerful desire to do something that maybe is not in your best interest and you know you shouldn't, but you do it anyway? Well, then I'm going to suggest you take that feeling of desire and you allow it to aim you towards watching this video, because I'm going to share with you a technique from NLP that can allow you to take any irresistible, overwhelming urge that is not good for you and how you can have choice around that. So this technique is quote-unquote advanced. Ooh. So it presupposes that you can do a couple of things well. Okay, so one, if you're gonna do this, you need to be able to do a mapping across, right? You should, watching this video, understand what submodalities are. So you're gonna be able to need to do mapping across. You should understand and be good at, once you have done an elicitation of submodalities, how to intensify a state, finding the driving submodalities behind what makes a state. And you should be familiar with the swish pattern. So if you can do those things, you will be able to do this pattern. And the pattern's name is the compulsion, wait for it, the compulsion blowout. And why do we call it the compulsion blowout? Well, I didn't call it that. I think Dr. Bandler invented it. Every state that you have has a threshold, right? So I'm going to use a sexual metaphor here. Forgive me if it offends you, but I was watching a Jim Carrey special where he was talking about his adventures as a single man. And that he had brought this woman home with him, and they had sex, and that after his orgasm, she kept playing with his penis. And the joke, the punchline, obviously I'm not doing the joke well, the joke was that he carries a brick underneath his bed for women like that, right? That there's a point at which pleasure turns into pain. Right? That once the state goes so far up and up and up, it turns into a different state. And that's what we do with the compulsion blowout. Now, you know about this already, right? When the old remedy for smoking was to make the teenager smoke more and more and more and more until it turned into a revulsion, right? It just took it through a threshold. Tequila. Who has not had the experience in college of drinking tequila to the point where, you know, it was good, it was good, it was good, it was good, it was good. Oh, it's disgusting, right? If we drive the state up and up and up, at some point, we will pop over into something else. And typically, once you do that, the states can't go back to the way they were, or not at least without some new conditioning. And so the compulsion blowout pattern uses that. We do it deliberately, right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to identify what is it that you have your compulsion for. Chocolate, candy, ice cream, whatever, right? And you're going to do a contrastive analysis with something similar in that category. So you're going to say, okay, let's pretend the compulsion is ice cream. Nom, 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 nom. Ice cream versus popsicles. Like, you're not compulsed to eat popsicles. Similar though, yeah? And you're gonna elicit the submodalities of each, compare and contrast, and you're gonna find out what submodalities make the ice cream compelling to compulsive to you, and you're gonna test and see if you can make the popsicle compulsive. That way you'll know what submodalities drive compulsion. That's the first step, so you can identify that. The second step is to identify what driver submodalities are. A driving submodality are the single submodality or set of submodalities that have a tendency to radically increase the state, right? So distance is usually one for people, size is usually one for people, Brightness is usually one. If it's internally driven, if it's a self-talk thing, volume or speed of the voice, you want to find out what submodality intensifies the state. Because remember, the whole point of this is to ratchet the state up over and over until it turns into something else. This is the whole point. So you have to know what drives it up. Now, once you have that information, you're ready to blow out this urge. Now, I need to warn you of something. Once you go down this road, you must finish it. Okay? So there's a real danger here. I don't know if it's dangerous, but there's if you just ratchet up your desire for it and you don't take it over threshold, you just intensified your desire for the thing. In other words, you gave yourself a stronger craving. Yeah? Not what we want, right? And by the way, I have a link somewhere on my YouTube banner for you to book a discovery call with me if you want help with any of this stuff, right? I am seeing private clients. So be warned, once you start down this path, you must take it all the way through to the other side. And that's important. Now, there are two ways to drive it through compulsion. All at once or ratcheting it up. So all at once means, let's say your driving submodality is size. You just keep making the picture bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger than that and bigger than that and bigger than that and bigger than that until the state flips, right? If the driving submodality is distance, closer, 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 you may get to a point though where it can't get any closer to you, in which case you'll have to switch into the ratchet style or strategy, right? Where let's say my compulsion strategy is distance. So I have an image here and it pops in my face. And that's how I create compulsion. By the way, this is a great way, once you know this is a very good way to motivate yourself. Once you know how you create that compulsion, you can use it to your advantage. So you take that compulsion, right? And let's say it's distance, and I pop it here, it creates the desire. While I hold on to the feeling of desire, I'm gonna have it start over again here, pop back up, start again here. Now notice, this is very key. I'm not pushing the picture back and forth. I'm having it get closer, and then automatically it starts again here. And I do it faster, faster, faster until the compulsion itself blows out. Now, as a side note, this is really funny. This is almost a self-anchor for me, for the feeling of compulsion. So as I'm doing this, I'm actually starting to feel compelled, which is interesting. So here's the thing. If you do that, you'll blow out the compulsion, right? Sometimes you go too far and you create the revulsion that we talked about earlier, where you drank so much tequila, now you can't even hear the word tequila without vomiting into a bucket, right? In NLP, we don't want somebody to have a revulsion either, as we like people to have choice. We want you to have control over your responses. So you can choose to have the ice cream or choose not to have the ice cream. I have thought about this a lot. Would it really hurt me, let's in the ice cream example, to be repulsed by ice cream? No, I don't think so. But it's a principle that we operate by, right? So if you do go too far and you create a repulsion in yourself to where when you think about the thing, like success in the first step of this process looks like I can now think about the thing, there's no compulsion. I don't feel any compulsion to eat it, drink it, touch it, whatever. So the feeling of compulsion should be gone, and that will be success. If instead you've replaced it with a feeling of repulsion, then all you have to do is repeat the exercise until the repulsion blows out as well. So you do the exact same thing again, and it would get rid of the repulsion. Okay, So we've blown out the compulsion. You got to do one more thing. You got to do one more thing here. Always, always, always follow up the compulsion blowout with a swish pattern, right? So you attach the way you want to be, the desired self-image, to the trigger, all right? So I hope this was helpful for those of you who have NLP training. Have you used the compulsion blowout? I'm curious to hear. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. If you want coaching, go to my link and sign up for a discovery call with me if you're serious about crushing your goals. All right, see you in the next one.